Welcome to Your Time, Your Money, where your time is your money. And it's important that everyone knows we have a lot of resources in the office. And today we wanted to bring in another advisor who, hopefully sooner than later will be on our team, Justin Fillipone.
Pleasure to be here.
It's exciting, we have opportunities through the course of our week and our month where we get to interact. Justin was in the office, just so happened, and this was one of our burst sessions. I'd like to tell our audience that we have some construction going on, improving our studio, and they're kind of like mid hammer swing. So I'm sorry if you guys hear it in the background. But no, Justin's been doing this. I want you to give a little outlay on yourself and tell me how long you've been doing it for and some of your passions. So go ahead, Justin. Hit it up.
Just shy of a decade. So I about 8 or 9 years. Certified retirement counselor, actually.
That's great.
Just finished my certified retirement counselor CRC designation. April of this year. So it's been quite the journey, very exciting. But
Justin is wearing pink today, just for our viewers. We got a special announcement. Justin just had a baby girl.
I did.
So we've been actually office mates for a while. And when I first started, obviously you're kind of a knucklehead, I mean, one of those things where I was young in the business and Justin had been in a couple years longer than me, and you were a manager. And it's important that people know that there's a dynamic in the office where there's oversight, and it's thoughtful oversight. But at the end of the day, we want to make sure that we have our advisors and the people out there have structure. And you were very helpful in that process. And obviously things have changed now. We're working together. We're coworkers, which is great. But no, today's about 403Bs.
Awesome.
And basics in 403Bs. And I feel like it's a timely topic because where is it? It's summertime and we're leading right into what? September, new school year. And it's crazy, but man, like you would never guess how many people districts hire on an annual basis, right? And I would urge you to guess. Go ahead. How many people do you think a district would bring in? A normal size local district. How many people annually do they bring in? Go ahead. Give it a guess.
New hires.
New hires. Sure.
I'm going to go 6.
Okay. Normally between 18 and 24 people. Wow. Every year, whether it be custodial staff, nursing staff, right? Teachers, admins, paraprofessionals. There's a lot of turnover inside of school districts, and the reason we wanted to talk today was to overview the 403B process and how to get signed up and what a TPA is, and make sure that our teacher clients out there and anyone that's listening to the show has a little bit of structure. So I want to let you kind of give me your version of a 403B and what you think is important for people to know. So I'm going to let you start with that, and then we're going to kind of bounce back and forth.
Yeah, so, 403Bs, essentially we're created in order to be able to make sure that teachers and different school staff could have a place to save money into, similar to what 401ks did for corporate employees, right? So 403Bs are utilized through not only teachers, but they're also utilized with
nurses, right?
Nurses, doctors, things like that. So really, it was just a place to put money in order to be able to defer it, get a little bit of a break on your taxable income now, to defer it till later, and to be able to hopefully build wealth so that they can help to support the pensions that they get, especially here in New York State.
The golden ticket, baby. Yep. The golden ticket. I love it.
Yeah, so they were really created to be able to have sort of a balance of being able to not only have your pension, but also have some flexible pool of money when you retire, to be able to access to do all those important things that teachers would like to do.
Well, I feel like, especially when I first started, all I really did was 403Bs. And I want to talk about the experience that a teacher should have when they start a 403B. So let's talk about things not to do, right? Don't sign up in your lunchroom, okay? Don't do it on your break when you got 30 minutes for free and you can't look at anything, right? I want to talk about that intimate experience that a teacher should have with a financial professional where they're actually sitting down and reviewing. So give me your take on that, and let's see if it's similar to what I think.
Yeah, so with regards to the 403B, it's not necessarily, a lot of people think of it as just a savings vehicle to be able to use in retirement.
Sure.
It is, but when you're thinking about the grand scheme of things and you're thinking about a full financial picture, you can't make that decision in 15, 20 minutes.
On your lunch period, right?
Exactly.
Here, just sign this right here and you're good.
Yeah, so there's really a lot of thought that has to go into it because there's a lot of different vehicles that you can use for your 403B. There's a lot of different types of 403Bs that are out there, a lot of different companies.
Yeah.
So it's not a decision to take lightly because you want to make the right one, right?
Yeah.
You think about a lot of different things, like
When you buy a car.
I was exactly about to say that. The first time that you go to...
When you go on a date.
And when you choose to go anywhere with your wife when she's trying to decide what to eat, right?
No, let's not go there. Let's not go there. No, don't do it. Don't do it.
It's I apologize to the female viewers, but it's really...
For that.
I know. I'm not going to let my wife watch this one. But it's really a decision that shouldn't be taken lightly. It has to be thought through, and that's something that I do. And when I'm thinking about sitting down with a teacher, it's not in a vacuum, right? Everybody, one person that chose a certain 403B might not be perfect for another person, and we see that a lot where you have somebody that might be in the lunchroom, and then one person says, "Hey, you should do your 403B," or an older teacher says, "Hey, somebody that's been in the industry, somebody that's been in this industry for a while," and they're like, "Oh, I already signed up with somebody, but there could be somebody that you've been working with for the past 5-6 years."
I mean,
that said, you should have waited, or you should have asked around. You should have asked somebody else that it might be a better option for you.
I asked the relationship and the personalized experience because at the end of the day, when we go see people, we go to their homes. Yep. And it's kind of a controlled environment. It is a vacuum because we're at home. It's comfortable. We can be honest. We can be open. When you're in a cafeteria, when you're in a break room, you're literally just trying to rush through something and get it done, right? And this is where I want teachers to know that you should utilize a professional that is holistic, right? That's not just going to do your 403B, but they're going to help you with your 529 planning. They're going to help you with life insurance. They're going to help you with your parents. They're going to help you with estate planning. There's a certain mantra to understanding this process, and you have this insight where you've been working with teachers long enough to know that you don't want to do it on your 30-minute break when you're at the job, right? So I think it's an important segue to always go back to relationship and to kind of value knowledge, just like it would be in a classroom, right? Like, would you teach your kids, as a teacher, would you teach your kids with less time or less resources than you should have? The answer is no, right? I want as many resources as I can get. It is a 15-minute burst session, so we're going to do our community spotlight, which is our favorite time of the show, right? Watch out, it's getting real. I wanted a gavel during this part, to bang the gavel on the table. Okay, I didn't screw it up. Sweet. So our community spotlight for this week is BioGreen of upstate New York. Mike Caravino is my guy. Phenomenal worker. You can find BioGreen upstate New York. You can find them online, so it's upstatenewyork.biogreen. They are the number one supplier of eco-friendly lawn products. And for me having kids and me having a dog, I love the fact that he can put the stuff down on the lawn and I know that I can get right back on it, 24 hours later or sooner, and know that we're not going to have any type of weird appendage growing out of my hand, or, I'm going to get cancer or something like that. But you can also call them at 800-222, you can also call them at 518-937-0607. They're phenomenal. They have a great product lineup. I'm not sure, you just started working on your lawn, so I'm not sure if you have anybody, but you should work with them.
I don't yet, but
BioGreen.
Just had a baby girl, so.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where I had bad experiences other places, and it's the same thing. This is like the financial world, right? I had bad experiences other places. People come over. My lawn is a disaster. I got big, huge misses. When Mike comes over, when my guy from BioGreen comes over, he takes his time. He talks me through what's going on. He shows me what he's doing. And yeah, it's never going to be perfect. You get grubs, you get weeds, whatever. But he's at least going to come back out and service you and take good care of you. So check them out, BioGreen of upstate New York. They're phenomenal. I love their company. And, again, another shout out to those small to medium-sized businesses. There's not enough love out there for them. But, yeah, so back to our episode. Justin, what is also synonymous with teachers? Student loans.
Yes.
Right? So let's talk. I want your opinion here. What has been your experience meeting with teachers and dealing with student loans and or debt? Right? So let's talk about that for a minute. Because it's important.
It's been pretty significant. Most individuals that I sit down with, especially teachers, especially younger teachers, are dealing a lot with the burden of student loans, depending on obviously where they went. But it's one of those really big topics of conversation now with the some of the new stuff that's coming out with regards to the public service loan forgiveness programs and things like that. You're actually been one of the individuals that I've sort of looked to in that area. So I'll toss it back to you and kind of, obviously we don't want to stray too far from the 403B topic.
No, but it's part of it, right? Because I feel like as you meet with teachers and talk to them, anyone in the field of education, there's always going to be this lingering debt, right? And there's a reason for that, is the fact that you make a limited amount of income. There's no way to make more, right? Unless you're killing yourself working tutoring or summer school. So it's like you're kind of stuck in this rut where there is a program out there, and all you have to do is go and find the information, right? PSLF is for teachers that are employed through the state government that are part of a school district that's a public school district. But you have to have certain types of loans, and I'm not going to go too deep into the weeds here. But the truth is your financial professional should be talking to you about this stuff. You should be having these diverse conversations because. And I found this: the more you can talk about someone's debt, the easier it is to talk about their future and their financial savings. Because if we can mitigate debt, or if we could help with credit cards or be smarter with our spending, right, it helps us save.
What's one of the first things that people say when you ask them, hey, you should start a 403b? I have to do it later. I have too much going on.
Yeah, I have too much going on, and that even spurs the point of. Well, if I don't do my 403b now, and we did the Sequence of Return podcast where, if I just wait 1 year, right, or I wait another year, then it becomes a major issue for compounding interest, So, there are things out there, and that's what I wanted to make sure I told our 403b clients and any 403b, participant that might be out there. If you're not getting an annual check-in, if you're not getting a monthly email, if you're not getting that personalized experience, you need to kind of rethink what you're doing. Because yes, when the market's up, everyone says the same thing, right? I'm doing great, right? I'm doing great. My account's doing great. But one thing that may not be accurate is what you're paying for. Is there a fiduciary relationship with your advisor, or is it just a point of sale? Am I just buying something and then potentially never talking to them again, or getting a very limited amount of service, or only getting service when I email in? Hey, I want to change my contribution. All right, sounds good, right? Let's talk about that then. So, no, I just wanted your take on it, because I know when it comes to loans, they've been crippling. They have crippled people's families and their savings, and there's a lot of people out there that I've seen overpaying on their loans when they don't need to. I just want to get rid of the loan. I want it to be done. Well, why do that when, if you're working your butt off as a teacher, you have the benefit of being part of the PSLF. Again, there's caveats there. You have to do your research. Let your financial professional help you. But I wanted our audience to get to know you a little bit. Your phenomenal financial mind. Everyone has their specialty, guys, and I know what my specialty is, and I know what I'm good at, and I know that it's not the stuff that you're good at. And I'll give you an example. The other night, I needed your help on a Social Security question, and I knew that I could call you and say, "Hey, here's what I have. Here's the situation." You had the answer in 10 seconds, right? There's researching. There's behind the scenes, right? So just understand, for our listeners out there, working on a team approach, being with a group where there's a lot of different people with a lot of different specialties really helps a ton. Absolutely. So any other side comments about the 403b space, Justin?
No, I mean, just there's a lot of stuff out there. There's a lot of different providers. Just work with somebody that you know and trust, and just they'll help you, guide you in the right direction. And that's all I can say is really just find somebody that you know and trust, and work with those individuals, because there's a lot of choices.
Be knowledgeable.
I promise you, if you ever looked at your
the list, right?
The
approved vendor list
of 10 to 15 different companies that you can choose from. There's a lot of different nuances within those companies, so you need to make sure that you make the right decision.
And sometimes, you said it perfect. For a new teacher, they're like, "Oh my God, this is so overwhelming. I don't want to do it." Right? I don't want to look at it. And there's very few districts out there that offer one plan. Like usually there's between 15 and 20, where you have to go and what do I pick? What do I use? Right? Like
that was something that ended up changing because. When 403b first started, it sort of was just one provider.
But then back in 2003, a lot of things happened. You can look that up on your own, obviously. But no, Justin, thank you for joining us on the Burst session.
Absolutely.
Again, you can find us at yourtimeyourmoney.net, and that's .net for your net worth. Really important, when you do find our videos on YouTube, make sure you like and subscribe. We're getting up there. We're almost at 100 subscribers. It's only been a couple months, and I know how the metrics work on this. It's just a question of getting that 100, and we're going to skyrocket. You can also call us at 800-222-3202. You can find us in Latham, New York at 43 British American Boulevard. We're on the first floor. We're here for your needs. And Justin, thanks again for being part of your time,
Your money.
You got it.
Awesome.